أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين إمامنا وسيدنا الحجة بن الحسن المهدي أرواح العالمين له الفدا. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Recently someone asked me this interesting question. The person said, sometimes I feel like God has left us on our own. I can't feel the presence of God. When I see the global events that happen, when I see chaos, when I see violence, when I see a virus causing and wreaking havoc, I just wonder, has God just left us on our own? I know God created us, the person says, but has He left us on our own? And just today in the morning, a dear friend told me, Sayyid, once my grandson was watching the movie Saving Private Ryan. Maybe some of you have seen it. He says he was seeing a very violent and disturbing scene. And it was an actual footage of what had happened during war. So he made the following comment, the young grandson. He looked at his grandfather and he told him, was God alive when this happened? He couldn't comprehend that something so violent like that could happen and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't intervene. So he really wondered in his little mind, was God alive when that happened? What's our take on this, my dear brothers and sisters? Sometimes we do have these thoughts and we question, where is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Has He truly left us on our own? To better understand the answer to this question, I would like to share with you an example. Those of you who are here now, what's the longest exam that you've ever taken in your life? How many hours? 6 hours. Anyone with more than 6 hours? Have you taken an exam more than 6 hours? 8 hours. Anyone more than 8 hours? Someone recently told me they had taken an exam that took 12 hours straight, non-stop. So 8 hours. Let's go with 8 hours. When you were taking the exam, during those 8 hours, your teachers, were they with you there at the exam, helping you, or they left you on your own? They left you on your own. Why? Why would they do that? Your teachers or the academic institution or whoever is concerned with your career and success, why would they leave you on your own for 8 hours? There's a purpose behind it. That purpose can be training. That purpose can be being tried, being tested, right? Would it be fair for you to come out and say, you know, I have very terrible teachers and professors because for 8 hours they left me on my own when I needed them most? The teachers will tell you, we did everything we could to prepare you for that trial. We gave you the tools. We gave you from our time. We shared with you resources. But during those 8 hours, you had to be on your own. In fact, if we were to come during those 8 hours and sit next to you and give you the answers, that would defeat the whole purpose. That would be a joke. That would not be an exam. If I have to babysit you for those 8 hours, it doesn't work that way. You're on your own. One way to understand this question is that yes, to an extent, from this aspect, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does leave us on our own. He's given us free will. He's shown us guidance. He's given us the tools to become successful. But at the end of the day, we have to make the decisions. Allah is trying us. It's a training period. Sometimes you train someone for the job and then you monitor them. Let me see how you perform. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is monitoring us. He's given us the intellect, He's given us the science, the scriptures. Everything you need to succeed in this test, Allah has given it to you. So yes, the test does require that Allah keeps you on your own for a little bit, in order for you to be trained properly. Because Allah wants to give you the opportunity to develop yourself. You can only do that if you're left on your own. That's the first aspect. The second aspect, Allah does not leave us alone for a split second. If He were, the whole universe would come to a standstill. Every single second, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives life to the universe, gives energy to the universe, allows the universe to continue in existence. If you sometimes have the feeling that God has left you on your own, just look around you. Picture the trillions of atoms spinning around you. Every single atom knows exactly what it's doing. Every electron knows exactly how to spin around the nucleus of an atom. You think Allah has left you? Every cell in your body is functioning, keeping you alive. Where did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leave you? Allah is with you every second. If Allah leaves you on your own for a split second, you couldn't survive. You couldn't continue. Just like a big, huge factory that has huge operations, that can produce on a mass scale. There are intelligent people running that factory. Believe me, if they stop for 1 second, the factory stops. Here we have a huge Ford plant, the Rouge plant. It can produce 1,000 F-Series trucks per day. 1,000 trucks per day. Now imagine if one day the manager doesn't show up. The technicians don't show up. You think it will produce anything? Allah is micromanaging the entire universe. So the second answer to this question is, Allah is with you. He's not left you alone. But we forget that He's with us. We get distracted. We lose hope. The third aspect and the final one. How can I better feel His presence and know that He has not left me on my own? There are some things you cannot feel, you cannot detect. You need a device to detect them. Right now, here in this prayer hall, there are hundreds of waves and signals. Wi-Fi waves, cell phone waves. Do you feel them? Who feels them here? If you feel the Wi-Fi signals here, raise your hand and tell us how it feels. None of us feel that, right? But how do we know it's there? Because we have a device that can pick up the Wi-Fi signal. So if you turn on your phone and you scan for signals, you'll see if there are any signals here. If you go in the middle of the woods and you make that scan, you don't find anything. So you have devices that actually detect these signals. Allah has given you that device to detect His presence and to feel His presence. That is the combination of the intellect and the heart that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. I have to prepare and calibrate my heart and my mind to better feel the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, the divine rays and waves are overflowing in the universe. I need to calibrate my heart properly. That requires that I increase my knowledge. Better know Allah, the attributes of Allah, the 99 beautiful names of Allah, and how I can apply these beautiful names in my life. Every name of Allah is a reflection of one aspect of your life that you need. By increasing your knowledge, through the munajat, those whispers that you have in the middle of the night with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you really want to feel the presence of Allah, try this. This is very effective. Every night, read one of the munajat of Imam Zayn al-Abidin. We have 15 munajat. They're called the whispered prayers. You can find them online on du'as.org or other websites. The 15 whispered prayers. Every night, read one of them. You'll read one twice a month if you consistently read each one every night. You will feel the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not left us on our own. Yes, Allah wants to give us an opportunity to develop ourselves. And that sometimes requires that we're on our own. We exercise our own free will. Allah intervenes when necessary, but don't expect Allah to babysit us every single second. That defeats the purpose. He's given us the intellect. He expects more from us. So if you ever feel that Allah has left you on your own, keep these points in mind. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open our hearts for His guidance, for His hidayah. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.